Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to make pita pocket bread, just like this. It's a really great recipe that comes out making the pockets almost every single time and every single one. So I think it's a really one to treasure, and it's pretty easy. You have to be a little bit particular about how you roll out the dough, and it has to be baked in a very hot oven. But other than that, everything else is pretty simple. So let's begin. We begin with adding all of our ingredients. We start with water and then add our yeast and some salt and a little sugar, but it can be left out if you prefer, and then vegetable oil. This here is olive oil, but you can use another kind. Then stir it all up until everything is dissolved. Then add our flour. This is a mixture of white flour and whole wheat flour, and it comes out very nourishing with the whole wheat flour, so it's good to use. And if you prefer to use all white flour, use a little less water, maybe a tablespoon less. Then mix it up and start to knead with the dough. And you can do this for a little bit less than a minute, maybe 45 seconds to 50 seconds. When you've done that, just take it all to the center of the bowl and cover it with plastic wrap and allow it to rise for probably it's going to take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending upon temperature, but you want it to be doubled in bulk. Then it's time to start making the pitas. So put some flour on a surface and scrape out the dough. Going to roll it until it forms a kind of a fairly wide and consistent block. I hesitate to call it a rope. It doesn't look like a rope at all, but there it is. You want it rounded, and then divide that into 8 pieces. Here I'm just marking off 4 pieces to begin with, and then I'm going to cut all of the 8 pieces. And you just keep going until all 8 pieces are cut up. Then it's time to roll them into balls and try to make them as smooth as possible. So sometimes you have to roll them for a little bit of time. And place them down on flour so they don't stick to your surface. And just keep going until all 8 of them are rolled up. Then get out your rolling pin, put some flour on it, more flour on the board, and start to roll out the pitas. Now, just roll in one direction and turn the dough, so a quarter turn, and just keep going just in that one direction. And don't go over the edge of the pitas. You want to stay just short of the edge, but keep rolling it out. And place it, when it's ready, on some flour. So again, it won't stick when you're ready to bake them. So let's do all 8 pieces. Now, one of the keys is to allow the pitas to rise for 15 or 20 minutes. And then during this time, you can preheat your oven. And afterward, just put them on a baking pan and bake them at 500 degrees at the bottom shelf for 4 to 5 minutes, and that way they'll really puff up. They're hot, so be careful taking them off. Then you want to cover the cooked ones with a kind of a damp cloth, and keep putting on the pitas on your baking pan in the order in which you roll them out, so they'll have a little longer time to rise. And then here's the next batch that rose very nicely. bake the next one. Make sure you're letting the oven recover to that 500 degrees between each batch. And this one didn't quite puff up so well, but they'll both be good. And then here's the final two, nicely puffed. And when you cut into it, there are two nice pockets that you can stuff. Well, thanks for watching, and do tune in again for more great recipes for bread, cookies, all sorts of baked treats. Bye-bye.